Hi everyone. Today we're gonna work on building a resume. This is a beginner course, or for anyone who just wants like a different perspective on resume building. A quick disclaimer: resumes are not super easy to build. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Positive Transitioning always has that support for you, whether you want us to look it over or you have a specific question, whatever it may be. Just call our hotline or send us an email or message us on social media, whatever it works for you. Um, and just try your best. These are super important. Resumes are for your potential employers. They're kind of like a first impression thing, and they will judge you on them. So you want to super important to have a super simple, organized, and professional resume with no spelling errors, proper capitalization. And just making it look good. And once you have a good one, once we complete this whole process, you're set and you can send this to all the potential employers you have. So it's just super important to do it really well. Um, and then once you're done, it's just good for everyone. So yeah, let's begin. Okay, so this is your resume, right? I am creating this in Google Docs. Google Docs is free online. If you go to google.com, you can create an account. It will come with an email, and I personally really like it because it's just super simple. You can press help, and you can literally type anything in, and it will help you. Um, and also you can also use other sort of like word processing like Microsoft Office, or if you have like, I'm pretty sure you can use like TextEdit or something, but I just feel like Google Docs is like super universal, like anyone can use it. You know, it's kind of like daunting to like be in a word processing thing, but um, I just think it's one of the easiest ones, so I really recommend it. Um, Also, if you need more help with Google Docs, you can always just contact us at Positive Transitioning, or you can go on Google or YouTube or ask someone you know, and they'll help you out, I'm sure. Um, but yeah, so I'll also share this PDF or this like thing with you so that you can just like literally download it and then write in your information. I feel like that's usually the easiest and best way to do things, so you don't have to worry about formatting and stuff. Um, and yeah, so I'll make sure to post that with this video, and you can download it and use this template with no problems. Yeah. Okay, cool. So let's get into this. So this is obviously a doc. Your resume wants to be maximum 1 page. So this is 1 page, correct? Maximum. You don't want it to go past this line. This is because employers get a lot of resumes and they want to just really quickly look at each person. And if it's a bunch of pages, that's super overwhelming, and it's just like they're just gonna be like, okay, no, it's too long, not worth my time, you know? Keep it 1 page. The reason I have 2 pages here is if you have references, they might ask for references, which is, we'll go over that later. But that should be 1 page max too. So really, this whole thing is 2 pages maximum, but make sure your resume is one. Cool. So then also if you use my downloaded copy that I share with you, it should go in perfectly. But if there's some formatting errors, if you go help and then you go page setup, you want your margins, which is the space between your text and your side of your page, to be 0, 1, 1, 1. Um, that's just great for I've discovered great for formatting, and so it should be the most helpful. When you put it in first, it will probably look like this. This is a 0, 1, 1, 1. I press enter. It just works best that way. Um, and I would also just make sure whatever font you use, keep it professional. I recommend using Times New Roman, but you can use other ones if you want, like probably Arial or something, but don't use like this one. This is very unprofessional. So don't use that. They just want it easy to read, and Times New Roman is like historically a super easy to read font. I'd also like just know I'll go through it as we go, but things are different sizes. See, this is font 24. Um, This is font 10.5. There's some that are bolded, this is bold. There's some that are italicized, which are like this. So I'll make sure to go through and show you how to do all that and note that. So let's begin. Okay, first we'll start with your name. This is your heading. Whatever pages you give to your potential employer, you need to make sure to have this at the top. This is for reading. This is for sake of reading. They want to be able to see your name really quick. So make sure always to use your first and last name. I'll use a name here, a very common name, Jane Doe. Always use your first and last name. If you go by a nickname, for example, if your full name is James or something and you go by Jim or something like that, feel free just to use your nickname. That's no problem. They just want to know what to call you. So next, address and city state. This is just to know how far will you be from the potential work site. If you put in an address that's super far away, they're kind of might be like, okay, maybe not the best employee. They might run into traffic or something. You could also use your real address if you want, but no problem if you just want to use your city and state. They just want to see where you're coming from, right? So let's go with Los Angeles. This is just an example. Next, these are called special characters. It's just for sake of like making it look professional. If you go help, or actually, yeah, if you go help and you type in special characters, right here, you have all these characters. I personally like to use a square, just because it looks, oh, it's spelled square, right? It looks so super simple, super professional. You would never want to use something like this. This is not professional. It kind of looks like it's an emoji, really. And this is, you can use white square too, whatever looks professional. That's how you insert that. You just click on it and we'll insert. And then phone number, email. This is just so they know how they can contact you if they want to set up an interview or just get to know you better. You might not have a phone number or you might not have an email. You want to make sure though, if you apply for a job, you have something that they can reach you at. And on google.com, you can also, of course, create your own email for free, but you might not have a phone number. Just make sure they have a way to contact you. And side note, if they do contact you, try to get back to them within 24 hours. This is just because if you don't respond in 24 hours, they might be like, oh, they're not interested. I'm going to go to the next candidate, So yeah, so that's that. That's super important. If you have a phone number, I'll just put in a random phone number, 111, 111, 1111. Really great phone number. Make sure to always include your area code as well. Yeah. So then here, info at positivetransitioning.org, right? That's just, you might just have one though. That's totally fine. Okay, great. Let's go to the next one. Next is your education. These are bold, size 12. It's, excuse me. It's, obviously to, these are your sections, right? So you want it to look super organized, super easy to read. So yeah, that's your education. And then here's this line, right? And you're like, oh shoot, like how do I create that line? If you press enter, and then you go to the side, if you press shift and then there's like a dash, actually, it creates a lower line like this, and you can take it across, right? Just hold it down, hold it down, hold it down until it gets to the end, right? There's your line, right? You want to make sure though it goes to the end. See how everything is like on the side, everything is matched up. That makes it look super professional. I already have my line, so I'm gonna delete it. But that's how you create your line. Cool. So now next, your level of education. So you always want to put your highest level of education or the education you're currently trying to complete. A lot of people are working to get their GED still, right? Maybe they didn't get the opportunity to do that while they're incarcerated, so maybe they decide when they get out they want to do their GED. Side note, if you want to get your GED, Positive Transitioning has a bunch of free tutors for you to help you out with that. But you want to put your highest level of education. So maybe your highest level education is high school, right? So let's say you went to LA High School. I don't know if this is a school or not, but LA High School, right? You can press tab or spacebar. You just see you want it, obviously, put in a straight line with the rest of the things. Let's say you could put Los Angeles. Don't put LA. It just looks, if you're writing LA, it just looks too doesn't look as professional. And then you can abbreviate California though, or whatever your state is. All right. So there we go. And then say you went to LA high school. The reason there's expected here, I'll show you in a second. But let's say you graduated high school, right? You can write, maybe it was a long time ago. That's totally fine. June of 2000 is when you graduated, right? Totally fine. This is your highest level of education. You want to show them that. Cool. So maybe relevant coursework or skills. I put this here. Usually employers know kind of the education you're getting in high school, but let's say you're applying. Oh, yawning. Say you're applying to like a maybe like a mechanics or like auto parts sort job, and maybe you took like auto shop in high school. That'd be a great thing to put here. Maybe you got to a super high level in your super high level in math or something, calculus BC or something. That's very high. That's very hard to get. But anything that looks like good to you, put there. If you don't want to oh, also I would say you can put here if you want. Maybe you're like on the football team. Just to show them kind of like who you are, what you did in high school. Maybe you were in a club. Maybe you weren't in any of this stuff. Maybe you're like, no, that wasn't for me. Don't worry, you can always just delete this whole section. Um, you don't need it. Oh, also, I forgot to include. So these are called bullet points. And if you go help, bullets, type it in. It didn't work for me because I already had it. But if you go this, bullets, it'll give you a bullet. But if you don't have anything you want to include, you can just delete it. Cool. Okay, so now I want to show you if you're getting something, maybe you're working in a process of getting your GED. So let's say you're in the process of getting your GED program, and it's in Los Angeles, wherever you're getting it. Maybe it's online, but maybe you're in Los Angeles, wherever it is. And it's, let's see when you expect it. When are you gonna take the GED test? When do you think you'll pass and get it? It's okay if this is not 100% accurate, but let's say maybe I'll get it August of 2020, right? Great. That's how you do it if you're if you're expecting something, but you haven't accomplished it yet. You can also include down here if you want your high school. Maybe you go to Los Angeles High School, and do the same thing. Put your city and state. This should not be italicized. This should be bolded. These are 10, by the way. Oh, this is 9.5 here. 9.5, 10. So we want to make sure this is 9.5. If you go type in 9.5, perfect. So, oh, it didn't do it. I was like, why isn't it like 9.5? Okay. Oh, that's kind of weird. 9. Okay, well, it's okay if it's not perfect. You can just put 10. They're close enough. But usually it works. But yeah, you could put your high school there. I would just say if you have any beauty school, if you went to some sort of electrical school, bartending school, whatever it is, put it there. Just show them what kind of formal education you've received. And if you had any trade schools, and then if you had any like fancy classes you took, just include that there. I would say though, if you had only graduated or you hadn't graduated from middle school or lower, I would just say probably not put it on your resume. This isn't because that's a bad thing, but it's because people are judgmental and you don't want to give them that opportunity. So you would just go here and delete everything, right? But yeah, so that's good. That's how that works. I'm just gonna delete this here for sake of formatting. But yeah, if you want to include that, if you have any questions, of course, ask us. So next, work and leadership skills. This is the most important part. They want to see what sort of work experience you've had. What have you done? So here we go down the line. I showed you how to do the line before. Again, this is font 11. These are font. I think this one's a little smaller because of the length. So this one's 11. This one's 12. If you want to keep them all the same font sizes, you can. Like this one's probably 11. Yeah. So let's make it all 12. Right? So these are all 12. We made these all 12. This is 12, right? So cool. Now let's say, I don't know where that bar is there. Let's go here. And I want to make sure, I don't know if I mentioned it before, everything is chronological. So your most recent here and your least recent is here. This is because they want to know what have you done the most recently. And it's okay if you haven't done anything in a long time. Just put your most recent anyway. Cool. Okay, so let's start with the business name. Let's say you were currently incarcerated and you got some sort of business experience while you were incarcerated. So you could put maybe like put for your business name, put the facility you're in. I don't know any specifically in Los Angeles right now off the top of my head, but let's do X. I put X just as an example. X correctional. Wow, I have a lot of yawns right now. X correctional facility, right? Cool. And then we'll put, of course, it was maybe you were in Los Angeles. It's okay if you were somewhere else, no worries. And then you were in Los Angeles, California, right? Make sure it always goes to the end. Position title. Maybe you were a launderer. Maybe you're in charge of all the laundry. You went out and maybe you did this from June of 2019 to June of 2020. Whatever. Maybe you did it in February. February, right? Cool. So that just shows you did that's your recent work experience, right? Now this is important. It's gonna say they're gonna ask in these bullet points, which I showed you before. Go help bullets, what you did and why you did it. So for instance, if you were doing laundry, if you were a launderer, that means you did laundry, right? You said, I I washed and folded the clothes so that other inmates had, so what did you do? You wash and fold the clothes, and why did you do it? So the other inmates had fresh clothes every week. Right? And maybe you did something else. Maybe you restocked the soap in order to keep work operations flowing smoothly, right? Something like that. Why you did, what you did, and why you did it. Super easy. Maybe you only have one bullet point. Just make sure you have at least one. Maybe you have three, maybe even more things. That's just one example. Now let's go down. So maybe before this, you worked at what's the place? What's the famous place? Let me just think of one really quick. Of course, I can't think of one. Let's say you worked at Outback Steakhouse. Outback Steakhouse. Okay. I don't know if that's everywhere, but Outback Steakhouse. And this, you worked in, maybe you were in a different state. Maybe you were in Las Vegas. Nevada, right? You're in Las Vegas, Nevada. Maybe that's one word. And you were a dishwasher. So you were a dishwasher, like that, right? And you worked in this from maybe January of 2000. Maybe you worked in it a long time ago, right? January 2005 to April of 2006. You're there for a little over a year, right? Cool. So you're a dishwasher. They're gonna say again what you did and why you did it. So was in charge of cleaning all the dishes in order to keep the restaurant clean. You shouldn't be repetitive. In charge of cleaning, of washing in order to keep the restaurant clean. You were um, maybe you sanitized the counters in order to keep the kitchen spotless. Maybe you were in charge of, I took out the trash in order to maintain the cleanliness. You don't want to be repetitive. I know it sucks. You're basically saying the same thing, but don't want to be repetitive. It makes it look more professional, right? So cool. So let's say, so those are 2 work experiences. Maybe you just have 2 work experiences. That's totally fine. I would say also, you know, if you are currently working a job, no problem. You just put it the same way, and you would put to present, right? And you would also make sure it isn't in past tense. Wash. What are you doing now? You're wash. You wash and fold the clothes so the other inmates have fresh clothes. You restock the soap in order to keep work operations flowing smoothly, right? That's if it was present. Use this in a present example, and this is a past example here, right? So you might just have 2 work experiences. That's totally fine. Um, don't worry about it. You just want to put anything you have. If you have any leadership skills, I would also put it here. Maybe you were in charge of like a yoga class or like a reading club or something before. You would just put, your business name would just be like, like a yoga class. I don't know. And you did this, even if it was when you were incarcerated, even if it was before, you put, city and state, and then you put position title, which might be an instructor, and then, why you did it, same thing. You just want to show, even if you didn't get paid to do this, you had leadership skills, you were responsible. Maybe you were in charge of caring for your family, and that's what took up most of your time. You might want to put maybe like caretaker. No, you should put family work, or neighborhood work, or friends, family, and you were a caretaker, right? And you put that. Maybe that's what you took up your time. They just want to know kind of what you did. Of course, you don't want to put anything illegal or, you know, not super culturally accepting, I could say, for on your resume. So yeah, make sure to do that. Cool. And then next, this is the easiest part. I mean, some people might find it hard, but your skills and interests. This part is to show them like, hey, like, who am I as a person? What am I interested in? Like, what, like, will I get along with my coworkers? Like that sort of idea, right? So again, want to put your skills and interests in font 12. You put the line here, and then this is bold, and this is font 10, font 10, font 10. This is font 10, font 10. These are probably a little small. Oh no, it's all 10. Okay. I guess, yeah. I mean, close enough. So languages, maybe you can speak English. And maybe you can speak, I hope you can speak English so you could understand this video. But maybe you also can speak Spanish. Cool. Maybe you can speak French. That's a lot of languages. But maybe you have conversational proficiency. That means you can converse, but you're not fluent. Make sure everything's spelled right. And then this shouldn't be bolded. This should be unbold. Technical skills. Maybe you learned how to be. Maybe you did the food handlers course before. Or maybe when you were incarcerated, you got some sort of certification course or something. No matter what the position is, write down the certification course. Maybe like, I don't know a proper name for it, but like electrical certification course. Maybe you learn Microsoft Office Suite. These are just your technical skills, Even if it doesn't apply to that particular job, show them that you have these skills. And if you don't have any, no worries. You can just delete this whole section. Never just leave it blank, just delete it, So cool. And then activities and interests. Think about what you like to do. Maybe you like working out. Maybe you like reading. Maybe you like eating good foods, spending time with loved ones, whatever it may be. Show them what you're probably going to do when you're not at work. Cool. So that's your resume. It should be 1 page max, like I said. It might not take up the whole page, but this looks super professional. So you want to make sure it looks professional like this, chronological, of course, most recent here to least recent here. And if, of course, if you don't have experience or if you don't have what you want to put, just delete the whole section. But your work and leadership experience is the most important. So make sure to include that. So going down, this is probably, you might not need this, but they might ask for references. So you want to make sure, I'm going to copy this here because you want it to be the same here. It looks super professional, right? And then references, you type it here. This is size 11. Oh, actually, we changed them all to 12. So size 12, and then I showed you how to enter the line. And then you can split it into two, professional and personal, or you can literally just have, maybe you only have 2 references. That's great. A reference is someone an employer might call to speak on your behalf. They might be like, hey, what's this person like? Will they get along with their coworkers? Will they be able to, hold responsibility, show up to work on time? These are people they're going to call. So you want to make sure you have, it'd be ideal if you had like a past employer who would speak up well on your behalf. You can use them, and you don't have to necessarily ask them, but you just want to make sure they're going to say good things. So let's say a name, I don't know. And you can use family, but I wouldn't recommend it just because they're like, of course, your family might say good things about you, But like a friend, Jimmy Smith, and then you write here, what's their correlation to you? Family friend. They might not be employed, but if they are employed, right here, they work at Chevron. And they live in, maybe they live in Las Vegas. I don't know, these are things coming to my mind. And then a way they can contact them. You don't have to have both, but, you can put just something, 1-on-1, 1-on-1, 2-2-2-2, right? Another reference you can always put positive transitioning. You can put one of our names, whoever your life coaches may be, or whoever's helping you out. They can speak on your behalf. We would love to help you out with that. Position title will say, maybe they're your life coach. They'll speak on your behalf. They work at Positive Transitioning. It's online, but we're actually based out of Columbus, Ohio, so you can put Columbus, Ohio, and then you can put our hotline number here. I don't have it off the top of my head, but of course, or you could put our email. Here, I'll put the email here, or you could put both. So yeah, so that's like that. And then you can put whoever your life coach is. I don't, it kind of depends. But yeah, so that's that. I mean, I would have at least 2 references. If you only have 1, that's fine too. But this is how you create a super basic resume. I would highly recommend sending it to us before you turn it into anyone, just so we can look it over. But if you feel really confident in it, then go ahead and do that. But as you can tell, this is a super basic, this is a very professional resume, and of course, I didn't fill out everything like here. You do that, but I'll make sure to post online. Don't be overwhelmed. Try your best, and we're always here to help. This is super important, and if you need help, even just strategizing, what is my work and leadership experiences? What is my education? Do not hesitate to call us, email us, connect with us on socials, whatever works for you. And yeah, so yeah, good luck. And I'm pretty sure I'm holding a class soon. So if you need further help, you can come join there. So check us out online. All right, have a great day.